Hey everyone, if you are watching this in 2020 and are panicking in any way, what I'm about to say may shock you, stir you up a little bit, and shake those beliefs inside of you. Here's what you won't hear on the 5 o'clock news. We create what we think about most. Your thoughts are seeds to your beliefs. This is what the 1% know and have used this to control mass markets, trends, influence, and many facets in our world. So when you are constantly bombarded with fear-based news of something you can't control, it's going to create more of that. Your thoughts are seeds to the reality you create. This is the law of attraction 101. It is why you are seeing stuff like panic buying and liquidation of assets, because people are letting their fears dictate their futures. Here are the facts as they stand today. The current population of the earth, 7.7 billion. People who died from hunger last year, 1.8 million. People who died from a car crash this year, 280,000. People who died from the seasonal flu this year, about 100,000. People who died from the coronavirus this year, about 7,000. I'm not saying there are other factors like the rate of dispersion or severity. What I'm trying to illustrate here is the real epidemic is fear. That's what's causing the world to lose their marbles. We are not in isolation anymore. The world is connected more than ever. You won't see a mention of hunger deaths on the news because that doesn't affect the rich. You don't see governments closing down highways based on this year's car crash statistics because no one's afraid to get into a car. This year, it's coronavirus. Last time, it was swine. Before that, it was SARS. When you have this level of people's attention on all news outlets, the only thing they care about is swiping your focus. You are safe. Do you know how I know that? Because even if you were to die tomorrow, by whatever means, there's still nothing to fear. There's no point weighing yourself down with the fear of what you cannot control in life. Life is meant to be lived, which implies death at some point. I realize many of you watching this may not have faced their own mortality consciously yet. I implore you to do so now. Do you want to spend the rest of your life in fear, holding back on the life you want to live today, only to taste the burning edge of regret on your last few hours? No, because you have your life now. Live it in peace, love, and fearlessly be the miracle of your own creation. Stop worrying about what you can't control. Be grateful for your life today. Spirituality is not about plugging your ears and meditating in seclusion from the world. It's about facing our problems head on. And the real fear we are addressing collectively is the fear of death and extinction. And that's a big mother fear we have looming in the collective. So no, it's not all rainbows, and it looks a little bit messed up on the outside right now. But as we address our fears, we will realize we are a species going through growing pains and knocking down the barriers to the oneness that exists in all of us. But the fear must be addressed first, just like all wounds that need to be healed. So how can we do that? It starts with the individual. And yes, it's a tall order. It's the fear we constantly brush under the rug and want to deal with later in life. It's one of the hardest fears to process because it points you at your life and all the decisions you have made. To accept death, we have to accept what life we chose to live. It's an audit that some people hope they never have to do. But I have learned from one of my one-on-one clients dealing with anxiety about death is once you break through and accept your life and the choices you have made, you then free yourself to make the choices you were once afraid to make. The real fear behind death is not death at all, but the fear of regret of what we want to experience here on earth. This is why it's so profound to have this experience now, many years before the point of no return, because then we can live the fearless life today. What heaven on earth really looks like is when we're all fearlessly celebrating our collective diversity and united respect for the preciousness that we all are through the love that binds all of creation. We collectively are the creators of our world. We create our individual lives through nothing more than the focus of our intention and action behind our beliefs. When we put those two things together, we create everything we see in our lives. You are safe. Our real issue is just the fear of death. And in order to not fear death, you must embrace the unknown, for that's all that death is. When you embrace the unknown, you surrender to what you can't control and realize that you are all that is. You are the God you project on the other side. You are all. You are freedom. The freedom to experience the many, the freedom to experience pain, the freedom to experience slavery, the freedom to experience an epidemic, and the freedom to release it. Thank you for watching this the whole way through, and like always, remember, take what resonates and leave the rest. All perspective is valid, and I want to hear yours in the comments below. Any clash in perspective is okay. Be kind to each other. Remember, your actions and reactions influence those around you. The only truth that is everlasting is the truth of change. And like always, make sure to subscribe to this channel for more videos on spiritual growth, learning, and mastery. Much love.